Hey folks, good morning. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat if my stream and my audio clear or not. Is it clear? Okay, thank you everyone. So that's what I'm watching on US30 today. I'm on the hourly chart and you can see the price rejected from our weekly week that I shared with you guys for like last couple of days. I've been talking about this weekly measurement, right? If you watched my stream like last week, I measured a week on the weekly chart, and I told you guys that I want to see price getting rejected from 0 0.5 level, and if it's still volatile, if it still want to deliver towards the buy side liquidity, it can come up to 0.75% and then reject. And you can see here that price got rejected from the 0.5%. And here on hourly chart, we do have a breaker block here, and you can see the price is respecting it. That's our higher high, right? Then we can see that a new higher high. This higher high cleared out buy side liquidity here. So this level, you can see it on the daily chart. If I take you on to the daily chart, it will be way more visible. So this week that you see that it took the buy side liquidity from this candle's body, and at the same time, if you measure this week right here, this is a big week, you'll be able to see that price got rejected from the lower quadrant from this week. Okay, so price is rejecting here. If I take it onto the 4-hour chart, you can see that we do have a fair value gap here that is unfilled, right? So what I'm thinking, right, we have a news at 10 o'clock, so no push of a button on live funds today or throughout the week. Okay, throughout the week we have very high impact news and a lot of manipulation are gonna be happening, so you should be patient this week. This week I'm basically done. If you have watched my live stream on crypto this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, I made my money. I made more than 5 hours, so I'm done for the week basically. So I'm only gonna do tape reading throughout the week, and you guys will see me doing that. I won't push any button on my live funds this week. I have no interest to. So you can see that that's the fair value gap that is unfilled. So I'm expecting price to come down here, at least now that we got support from the hourly breaker block, right? And if I take it back on the hourly chart, you can see that that's our fair value gap from the hourly chart, but on our 4-hour chart, but on hourly chart we do have another fair value gap, BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency here, and this is in discount. So what I'm thinking right now is like price, as we got support, as price got support from this breaker block here, I want to see price coming down here, filling this gap. Okay, at least tapping into this 4-hour fair value gap. So that's what I'm expecting in our 820 to 830 macro. And let's go to the 50-minute chart. And on 50-minute chart, you can see that I marked another breaker block here. Okay, so let me hide some drawing first. Okay, now it's good. So you can see that our 4-hour fair value gap is here, and price did not tap into here yet. So I'm keeping this level, this fair value gap in my mind. And you can see the price did a stop hunt here, right? A stop hunt is here, then price made a new higher high, but didn't tapped into a fair value gap. That's a fair value gap here. Price didn't tap into this fair value gap that is unfilled. This on hourly chart, okay? This fair value gap, these two black lines that you were watching here, it's on the hourly chart, and you can see the price generated another breaker block, came up, got rejected once, came up again, got rejected twice. When price rejected here to go lower, right, what it was doing, if I take you onto the 1-minute chart, okay, If I take you into the 1-minute chart, you'll be able to see that when price got rejected from this 15-minute breaker block, right? This box here, it's our 15-minute breaker block, and I'm on 1-minute chart right now, and you can see that price got rejected from this breaker block here once. So when it came up, right, after delivering liquidity towards the sell side, what it did here, it generated equal lows. And what does equal low mean? Strong level of liquidity. So once I saw price coming up here, I pushed the button on demo, and I was watching this trade printing out. So if I toggle on my execution, you will be able to see that. Okay, what do you see here? Price got rejected. I was watching it on 15-minute chart. My execution was on 15-minute, and you can see that when price tapped into here again, I was like, okay, price generated equal low. I can see a clean target, so at least price will give me a partial in this trade. Okay, it wasn't in my zone. It wasn't in a day that I would take this trade on my live funds. Okay, today I have no interest. Tomorrow I have no interest to take any trade throughout the week on my live funds. So I'm just testing my trade ideas on like demo completely. I'm strictly on demo throughout the week. I don't care like if you are making money or whatever. I'm done for the week. I made my money on crypto. If you watch my live stream there, we had like couple of setups, good setup. We traded live. We pushed the button live. So yeah, you saw me doing that. And when price generated relative equal low, in my mind, I was like, okay, price hit the breaker block, right? This execution was on 50-minute chart at the second candle. And I was targeting my stop loss is here. You can see that below the last bullish candle. Okay, before this drop happened, that was the last bullish candle. So I put my stop loss below that because the price is coming up and going above that, my trade idea is wrong anyway, so I just hope for it. Okay, so you can see that I entered here, right, at this level. Price gave me a partial here. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna put my stop loss in my entry, even though I can see the draw on liquidity here, but price generated relative equal highs here towards the buy side, right? You can clearly see that price delivered sell side liquidity right here. These are relatively equal low. Equal low works as a strong magnet. Okay, suppose I was watching this chart on 1 minute, I could have entered here, right? Once price went below this last bullish candle, what does it become? It becomes a reclaimed order block. If you watched my order block video, you know what I'm talking about. Reclaimed order block. That's how I see an order block. If you don't see it like that, it's okay. You don't have to watch my stream anymore. But I consider the last bullish candle after it takes out a major swing high, I consider the last bullish candle as an order block. Once price goes below that, I can use the same candle, okay, to execute on my trade. And you can see that how beautifully price got support from this candle here. Okay, price came up, right, went below again and closed the candle's body below this last bullish candle. If you cannot see what I'm talking about, this last bullish candle I'm talking about, and you can see the price closed the candle's body below after taking out a major swing high after hitting a breaker block. Okay, so some of you are newbie here, so don't think like after price closes a candle's body below a last bullish candle, then I will execute. No, you will have to have a logic behind your trade idea. And do you see the logic here? Yes, I had a lot of logic, a lot of confirmation before pushing the button here. And you can see that throughout the whole thing, I didn't even push any button. I was just watching this morning, and you can see that the confirmation that I had for this trade to push the button is not in my macro zone. Okay, outside of my macro, I do push the button on demo, only on demo. So you can see that the confirmation was this hourly breaker block, right? Price respected this breaker block. Then price generated another breaker block on 50-minute chart. Price is fractal, right? So whatever you see on the daily chart, you will keep seeing it on the lower time frame. Whatever you see 1 minute chart, okay, you will see it on the daily time frame, hourly time frame, 4-hour time frame. So your analysis, if you know how to trade, how to look in a trade with confirmation, with logic. Volume is low, really? Okay, sorry, I wasn't watching the... Sorry for that. Is it okay right now? Wow, so you guys didn't heard like whatever I talked? Or you heard it and the volume was low? let me know in the mic now. Let me know in the chat, like, whatever you guys heard, you heard it or not, what I was talking about. You heard it? Okay, thank you for letting me know. And sorry I wasn't like looking at the chat window, I was so deep into the analysis. So yeah, anyway, if it's clear then it's okay, and I'll keep talking near to the mic. Okay, one thing I don't understand, this mic is so good. When I went to the if you are living in Montreal or in Canada, you know the best electronic store here is the Best Buy. I think it's also available in USA, right? So I went there, I asked like, give me the best microphone that you guys have. It doesn't matter the price. They gave me a blue thing, like the company name is Blue, and I just bought it. It cost me a lot of money, and now now it's not working like a good one, right? Why? Anyway, I think I will change this microphone again. In Canada, you know what, like, even if you use a product, after like 30 days, in between 30 days, you can go in the store and you can ask for a full refund, or like you can change that stuff. So I think I'll do it today, because if I just move, okay, this microphone gets low, like it doesn't pick the sound. Anyway, so let's talk about our chart again. So that's what I was talking about. Like, once you see a major swing high, right, you can see a lot of relative equal highs above here, equal highs here, right? So that's a major high, and this high is inside this breaker block, 50-minute breaker block. So once price took it, I wasn't watching it, I was watching it on 50-minute chart, and you can see that on 1-minute chart, price closing and body below. So you can execute at this candle, okay, with the right logic. So the execution, if you are executing with this concept, the reclaimed order block concept, it will be something like this. Suppose you entered after price closed the candle's body below the last up close candle, okay? Why? A question can be asked from you guys, like, why I'm telling you this is the last up close candle, why not this one? Because you can see that this up close candle took the liquidity, right? Not this up close candle. So you also have to keep in mind the up close candle that takes out the liquidity first, that's where you want to see price closing a candle's body below, not this one, right? This candle, no, not this one, but this one, this big up close candle. Okay, once price closes a candle's body below, and if you have the right logic, you can target like 2R, right? You can see the price did deliver 2R beautifully after like a couple of consolidation, but it did deliver 2R. And I executed here after I saw another liquidity hunt here. I was on 50-minute chart, I was looking for an execution. If I take you back onto the 50-minute chart, you can see that price hit the breaker block again, right? The next candle, I entered the next candle here when price was here at this level. So you can see the execution here, and my stop loss is like at my entry right now. So let's see how far price can go. Okay, I'm not gonna close it. My stop loss is at the entry, and this trade is on demo, so very less that I care whatever happens. I do see the draw on liquidity here though, on this 4-hour fair value gap that I talked about. So let's move on to the 5-minute chart. On 5-minute chart, it will be more clear. And I also I did change my screen. Before I was like streaming from a 15-inch screen from my laptop. I do have other screen near me. Now I'm streaming from like a 28-inch carved display. So I think you can see the difference. Like, we can see more data now, right? On laptop, it wasn't like this much now, but right here, right now, I can see like the whole price action, and it's beautiful. Anyway, so I will move on to the NASDAQ, and let's talk about NASDAQ. What do we see on NASDAQ? Okay, another partial. I will take another partial, another position off down here. Okay, so now currently I have 7 contracts running, so I'll take like 2 off here. Yeah, so that's the limit, buy limit. Okay, so you can see that I I put a buy limit here. That's another level that I want to see price coming down and giving me a partial. So that will be like 2 partial here. Okay, so let's jump on to the NASDAQ, because NASDAQ is looking good today and I want to talk about it. Okay, I'm here to build my experience. I'm not here to make any money this week. I'm letting this week go for the sake of like safety. Like if you're holding your money, that's also trading. Okay, protecting your capital, that's also profiting. Suppose you are coming here trading, pushing the button on your life funds, and then you lost money. You will. This week, suppose only 2-3% of the traders, they will make money, who are like very fucking professional and lucky. But yeah, so that's the reason I don't want to get lucky. I want to do it with my skill, and that's the reason I'm only gonna keep doing tape reading. So what do I see on US100? That's a daily fair value gap. If you go onto the daily chart, you will see that that's a daily fair value gap and price is rejecting from it. From which level? If you measure this daily fair value gap, right, the lower quadrant will come somewhere here, and you can see the price getting rejected from the lower quadrant, from where our best trade idea happens, from the midway, right, of a gap. So I can still expect to see price coming up and offering more buy side liquidity on NASDAQ. But to do that, I will have to have a clean analysis on liquidity. Here today I don't have a clean analysis on liquidity on US100. You can see the price has liquidity on both sides, equal low here, equal high here, and we do have a fair value gap, 4-hour fair value gap, just below this these equal lows, right? So we know that equal low is a strong level of liquidity, and now the price is getting rejected from this fair value gap, right? That's a CB here, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and you can see the price getting rejected from here. If I mark it for you and if I measure this CB, okay, I'm literally focusing more on like measuring a fair value gap. Okay, if you have been watching my stream, you know that every time I see a fair value gap, I measure and I tell you guys that your best trade idea will happen from the midway. Okay, once price get rejected from the midway of a fair value gap, and you have other logic, okay, you can execute. And if I measure this fair value gap here, what do you see here? Price came up, right? What is our premium zone based on the measurement on this fair value gap? 0.5 midway, 0.75 upper quadrant. These two level, okay, is our premium. And where is our discount? 0.250. What do you see here? Price came up, offered, got liquidity, got support from the premium, right? And then getting rejected. Did price close the candle's body above the midway or above the upper quadrant? No. So what do we expect? We expect to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side, right? So based on the measurement and based on the confirmation from this fair value gap, right, what I'm expecting to see is a low probability expectation. Some of you are here retail, okay, so they will push button based on what I'm saying. Don't do that. Just watch. It's a low probability expectation, low probability analysis. So what I'm expecting to see is something, price coming down here, taking out the liquidity, tapping into the 4-hour fair value gap, okay, and then moving towards the buy side as we have relative equal high here. Okay, we will know if price wanna offer buy side liquidity up here. How will we know? Once price comes down, we will watch and see if price gets rejected from the midway and the lower quadrant of this fair value gap. Okay, if it does that, if price is getting rejected from the midway and the lower quadrant, what do we expect? We expect to see price getting heavy, price remaining heavy towards the buy side. Why? Because that's a BC. A BC is here to provide liquidity towards the buy side, support towards the buy side. And if this BC fails, okay, if this BC fails, how will we know that this BC is getting failed? Once price closing a candle's body below the lower quadrant. What is the lower quadrant? 0.25. Okay, if you measure this BC and if you see price closing candle's body below the lower quadrant, we can expect to see price coming down here, right, offering liquidity in this low here. Not today, maybe tomorrow. Why am I saying this low here? If you go onto your daily chart on NASDAQ, you will see that that's the unfilled freaking fair value gap on daily chart. And if you watched my daily bias session, how I consider a daily fair value gap, you will know from there. So I won't talk about what I did here. If you want to know, you can go ahead and watch any of my daily bias session. I made 3 episodes, okay? So you can go ahead and watch that. I hope you will understand what I'm going to talk here now. I saw a daily fair value gap here. I measured it. Our upper quadrant, okay, 0.75 level comes here. Then the midway, 0.5% comes here. And then the lower quadrant comes here, okay? So based on the measurement, that's a BC on daily chart. So BC is here to provide liquidity towards the buy side, right? So from where in a BC we expect to see price getting support? From where? From the midway and the lower quadrant, right? Why? Because price algo sees it as a premium and discount zone, okay? So price sees it like this. So what price will do in an ideal scenario, okay? Price can come down here and get rejected from the 0.75 level. That's the upper quadrant. But that's not an ideal scenario. If it does that, we know price will remain heavy towards the buy side because price didn't even came down to the midway, right? I want to see price coming down to the midway, getting rejected from here because it's a premium zone. Our discount is here. Sorry. Okay, I'm putting the fib in the wrong way. Now it's good. So we want to see price getting liquidity from the discount, and our discount comes in at 0.5 and 0.25 level, right? So that's what I'm expecting to see. And if you are still confused, right, you can go ahead and watch the video that I made about the daily bias session. I explained how I do it, okay? My high probability target on NASDAQ will be this fair value gap right here, okay? That's my drawn liquidity for now. And if price is still volatile towards the sell side, I want to see price getting into here, tapping at least at the upper quadrant. So this will be a high probability target, 0.75, 0.5% will be like the low probability, 0.25% the low probability. High probability is here, high probability is here. Okay, I hope you guys understood. And if you trade mainly on NASDAQ, do keep in mind that we want to see price getting rejected from this 4-hour fair value gap as we have an equal high here. Okay, if price does that, it's okay. If price does not do that, we want to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side, and we do have target. Let's go back to US30. And you can see the price is just consolidating, nothing special happening here. Okay, price came down here again, right? That's our equal low on 1 minute chart. I will put 1 minute chart right next to the 5 minutes. So that's 100 US30 1 minute chart. Okay, so what do you see here? What do you see here? That's our relative equal low on 1 minute chart, right? Price over liquidity here. I took a partial here. My partial, you can see that my partial got activated just below these lows. So price is just consolidating in this level. I want to see either price getting support from this equal low. If it does that, I will tell you how price uses a equal low as a support. Okay, and if it does not do that, I want to see price getting support, resistance towards the sell side from these equal lows. If it does that, I will also share the analysis like why I thought price should get support from, resistance towards the sell side from this equal low. Okay, so let's see. We are inside of our macro zone, but today we won't trade macro. Okay, it's 8:27. At 8:30, there will be volatility. So I want to see price reaping through here, at least coming down here, okay, below the swing low. So let's see what happens. I'm also watching the 1 minute chart, and I do see price generated relative equal lows. If you're watching 1 minute chart, look at here. Okay, I'm gonna hide the positions and stuff. Okay, so look how price generated relative equal lows here. All right, price got rejected from this fair value gap. That's a fair value gap here. Do you see it? That's a fair value gap. That's a CB. Price got rejected. Didn't even close the candle's body above the midway. So what do we expect? We expect to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side, right? That's what we are expecting. And you can see that price generated liquidity. Price left this liquidity for 830. So I'm expecting a sharp run on sell side from here. Okay, so let's see how price does it. If it does it, it's okay. If it does not do that, we will also see why it didn't do that from today. If I take a loss, I will share you guys like why it's a loss, and we will analyze our loss, because like I learned most from my losses. So why just hide from the losses? Because most of your learning will happen if you are seeing your losses, if you're analyzing your losses more than your wins. Wins, you are already correct in that analysis. Your losses, you are not correct there. So why not like talk about it? So from today, I will talk about it. I'll push the button in front of you. I'll keep doing that. And if I lose a trade, you will see me losing. And I will explain like why this trade turned out a loss, what I did a mistake, where I did a mistake, and what could I have done better. Okay, so let's see what price does. We still have 1 minute left before the high impact news. Let's look at some chat here. If you guys are enjoying my commentaries, can we get to like 150 likes, 200 people watching? Can we get 250 likes? Can we do that, folks? Okay, chat, I can see a lot of people are talking, so let's see what you guys are talking. Watch some YouTube review on mix to gut. Yeah, I should do that. Watch some reviews, bro. Buy the Shure podcast mic. If you are using it and if it's good, like yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Shure podcast mic. Okay, I think that's the name. I really like the way you explain your trade plan. Thank you. Yes, it's gambling, 100%. Next, Euro USD, please. No, I already shared the analysis on my Telegram group for Euro USD. You can go ahead and check it there. If I want to talk about Forex, you don't have to tell me. Okay, if you are telling me, I won't do that. If I want to do that, I will do it. Otherwise, why I listen to you? How long did it take you to master ICT concept? How long did it took me? I didn't master it though. I'm trying to master my emotions, not the concept, because me personally, I don't believe that with concept you can be profitable. You can go and use like retail concept, okay? Something like suppose trend line, and then suppose like double top, double bottom, or an indicator, and trust me, you will be profitable. A concept it's not the holy grail, but what's so important, what's so good about ICT concept? ICT concept is like so organized. It comes with rules, and it builds the patience inside. Where in retail concept you feel lost, in ICT concept you don't feel lost. That's the difference, and ICT organized everything in a so good way. Okay, so that's the magic with it, but it's not the holy grail. So what I will suggest, you keep watching the way you are watching ICT concept, but do focus on your emotion. That's the holy grail. If you can master it, if you can control yourself, like when you don't want to push button, if you know that, and if you can control yourself in that scenario, that's the holy grail, and you should know that you reach there, and then you can start trading on your live funds. So you can see that price gave me another partial here, right? I shared the whole analysis in front of you. I didn't just enter the trade in front of you, but the analysis was shared. Price gave me another partial, so our stop loss is in our entry, right? So even if price is now coming up and taking us out, we don't care. What I'm doing here today, I'm taking these trades on demo account, right? Do I care if I take this trade on demo account? No, because I'm building the experience here. This price action will repeat again in future. So when it does repeat, I'll be able to spot it, okay? I'll be able to recognize it, and when I do recognize it, what will I become? I will be confident in my trade. I'll be able to control my emotion. That's the reason I'll keep pushing the button on demo rather than pushing it on my live funds. When the clean days comes, okay, the clean days will come when there will be no news. We'll push the button there, but not this week. This week we have FOMC, NFP, everything together. So no, like literally big freaking no. Okay, now the price rejected like this. I really don't like this rejection. Let's keep watching the 1 minute chart. I can see that a breaker block formed here, right? Let me mark it for you. That's the breaker block here. These up close candles here, that's our breaker blocks. If price closes the candle body above, right, we will close this trade. And what I'm gonna do right now, I'll move my stop loss here. Okay, so that's my stop loss. Now why I'm putting my stop loss here, because on 1 minute chart you can see that that's our breaker block. If price is coming up and closing this candle's body above, what do we expect to see? Price remaining heavy towards the buy side, right? So I hope you got the logic, and price did hit our stop loss here, and price is closing its candle's body above here, and you can see that a stop hunt is clear, right? That's a stop hunt, a lower low, new lower low, last up close candle, or to be safe, like to be more precise, you can mark these up close candles. And you can see the price is respecting it, and if it does respect that, we'll have another trade idea. But for this one, I won't push the button. I'll just watch it. So let's watch and see if price is closing candle's body above this breaker block. Okay, it did close and respected this breaker block here, but our high probability setup will happen once price closes the candle's body above here. So let's see what it does. Okay, so let's answer some questions. My question is, your macro time also work on Forex? No, it doesn't work. If it does work, it's like you are just getting lucky. It doesn't work on Forex. I tried it, okay, it's not high probability. Like you see me using my macros on indices. Those 820 to 830, the 920 to 930 macros are specially for indices. And I got it, I tested it completely on indices, not on Forex pair. But ICT macros, those work on Forex, okay? So you can trade based on those macros. My macros are high probability on indices, completely for indices. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you are using it 820 to 830, 920 to 930, the 10-minute period, that's where the macro, and you can see that in 10 minutes, every time, every day, literally price is presenting a setup in front of you. And I'm outlining it to you. Chetan is saying, ICT just tweeted, use only one PDRA model and you that only. There are too many gurus online teach shitloads but don't give a clear trade plan plus entry plans. Is okay. Yeah, so I can understand what you were talking about. Anyway, let's move on. Crypto Man is saying, this is true. When I discovered ICT concept, I stopped when I lost, because I think this is organized, not just trading. Chetan Parmar is saying, it's fucking easy for me with breakers. 5 handle is so fucking easy. Yeah, if you are using breaker block, you can see that every time I push the button, at least price is giving me 5 handle. Or every time I'm outlining to a breaker block setup, 5 handle, breaker block is providing 5 handle. I'm targeting 1 to 2 R, okay? But if you are trading with like 5 handles, then yeah, you can do that. But me personally, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know how to manage a trade with 5 handles, because to do that you also have to keep in mind the stop loss. Suppose I'm targeting 5 handle, so where I will put the stop loss, price can come up and like take me out in a second in 5 handle. Suppose I'm targeting 1 to 1 hour, so 5 handle stop loss, 5 handle profit. With a small volatility, price will just come up and will take me out. So if you are like, to me, I'm talking about like ICT, so I don't like that. He is more experienced, he is my mentor, so if he's saying you to trade with 5 handles, do that. But To me, I couldn't do it. Okay, I tried it, but to me, I couldn't. So yeah, if you are doing it, it's okay. Do it. Keep doing it. Keep mastering your 5-handle move. It only depends on money, okay, folks. Like, it doesn't matter if you are trading with 5-handle, 10-handle, 20, 30. Doesn't matter. The way I'm making money here with 1 to 2 hour, you can make the same money from 5-handle. So yeah. Someone is saying, Jason is saying, I'm so grateful for your advice on when to cancel out trades. On when they pass 50% on key PD arrays, it has removed 90% of my emotion from my trading. Yeah, Jason, do it, okay? Keep doing it. If you are backtesting, do it, okay? 90% of the time, price respect our analysis, our view on chart like that, okay? We see chart by measuring it. We see PD arrays by measuring it. And if you have been trading long time, okay, if you are not a newbie, you will be able to understand that price respect those levels, and it respect with precision. Mike FX GT is saying, how many times breaker block might be hit and you consider it still safe for taking trade? It can hit as many times as it wants. It depends on the reaction on price, okay? It depends on the target. It depends on the confirmation. I'm not just entering in a trade after price hits a breaker block. I never did that. I can challenge every one of you. Right now, I think I have 300 people watching, and if you have been watching me, I never ever executed a trade just with one confirmation. Always, okay? If you are watching me, I always enter in a trade with 2, 3, 4 confirmation after I see that. So it doesn't matter how many times price is hitting a breaker block or fair value gap or order block. It can hit as many times as it wants, but you have to have the analysis. You have to have the logic to see why price should hit that, why price should hit and get rejected from it, okay? And for that to know that, I also do have other confirmation, like I do watch the last bullish candle in price, and I see like how price is closing its candle's body below it. If it does that, right, then yeah, price will remain heavy towards the sell side. And for that, you can go ahead and watch my reclaimed order block video, inversion video, okay? It helps a lot to me to understand when price will reject after taking out a liquidity hunt, when price will reject after hitting a PD array, suppose order block, breaker block, fair value gap. And it does work, okay, folks? Like, the thing that I'm sharing with you, not many people will do so. So just like, those videos are like 20 minute, 15 minute. If you have that much time, go ahead and watch those videos. Trust me, you will find it insightful, and you will find it way more insightful with if you guys have been watching me. You saw like I don't use many things in my chart. It's only breaker block, couple of lines, couple of logic, that's it, okay? So that's how I trade. If you like it, you can follow it, and you can make whole bunch of money just using couple of lines in your chart. You don't need to master every ICT concept there, okay? If you are doing it, great. I did it. I watched every freaking ICT videos. I used every freaking ICT concept. I tried to master it, but I'm still learning. I'm a student like you. So yeah, but you don't need to be honest. Look at here, I'm only using breaker block, then a basic concept of order block, right? Then a basic concept of fair value gap. Other than that, what am I using? Nothing more. And from today, I will talk about standard deviation projection. That also helps me a lot to like see where price will go, and it helps me a lot to put my TP and then partial, to take partial in which level. So I will also keep talking about that. So that will be something new here in my live stream. Ryan is saying that's because it's supposed to be 500 ES, 500 ES is equal more like 20 in NASDAQ. Not sure how it works with Dow, okay? Chetan is saying I follow one strategy to 3 lots and 500 daily. Good for you, bro. Keep it up. Joe is saying breaker block on US 150-minute chart. Really? Okay, so let's look at US 100. Oh, I didn't talk about dollar today. I forgot why. Why didn't you guys remind me of dollar? You remind me of Euro USD. Euro USD is full of shit. Forex
It's not my major pair. My major pair is on indices. So please guys, if I forget to talk about dollar, please remind me that when I start streaming, okay? Because without a clean analysis on dollar is the mother of everything. From her, every one of these candles are getting generated, okay? Because of her. Anyway, so let's see if we have a breaker block on 50-minute chart. I don't see a breaker block. I do see a swing high here. Price ran over the swing high. These last down close candles here becomes our breaker block, but I won't consider it as a breaker block. You know why? Because of the equal highs that price left. Right, price showed a clean rejection from this fair value gap. I think it's our hourly fair value gap. Yeah, so it's our hourly fair value gap, and you can see the price rejected from it beautifully. Didn't even close the candle's body above the midway. So what do we expect? We expect to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side. We do have a low here, a low here. Both of these lows are relatively equal. Like it's a trend line liquidity, and another low here. So price did cleared out couple of trend line liquidity. Price offered liquidity here at this level. That's also really relative equal low. Price filled the fair value gap and filled fair value gap on 50-minute chart. And if I zoom in it for you, that's the fair value gap, and you can see that how beautifully price filled it. Then price came down, took liquidity from this candle's body, okay? So what I'm expecting to see now, this breaker block getting failed, price coming up, offering liquidity towards the buy side, and then dropping again as we have relative equal lows towards the sell side. And also keep in mind, we do have relative equal highs on buy side. So yeah, if you are a retail, you can sell from there, or you might have, right, that's a double top, and retail expect to short from the double top. That's the reason, like, I'm not telling you a clean analysis. I have a clean analysis on NASDAQ. I don't. Okay, that's the reason I'm not watching this chart today. The charts that I have clean analysis, only that I talk about. Other than that, am I talking about US500? Look at this chart here. US500 is just chopping around. If US500 is your pair, stick with it. I'm not here to change you. Okay, I'm not here to convert you. Stick with it if you have an edge there, but I don't have an edge on US500. I have an edge on US30, US100, Ethereum. Those three pair is where I can trade. Like, I feel confident to trade. On US500, it feels choppy to me. So let's talk about dollar, okay? This morning, if you guys are following me on Telegram, I think you do. Most of you do. Even if you are following me there, I shared this analysis, this chart before the day started, before I started my live stream on my Telegram, and you can see that I outlined this breaker block here, right? And I outlined this equal highs here. I'm expecting dollar to remain bullish, okay? Because we do have higher level of target. Like, look at this volume imbalance. That's the volume imbalance from the daily chart. So I'm expecting a run on there. Before I do that, before price does that, I want to see price coming down, right? If it want to get reject, if it want to get support towards the buy side from this breaker block, it can do that. Is it a breaker block? Yes, it is. You can see the price made a lower low, new lower low. So price did a stop hunt, right? At the same time, that's a fair value gap on 50-minute chart. You can see the price tapped into it, right? Just a tick, okay? Just a tick. So what I think is, like, if price is not getting support from this breaker block towards the buy side, price will use this breaker block as a resistance towards the sell side if this breaker block is failing, okay? We also do have a fair value gap here inside this breaker block, so that's like a strong level of support. So let's see, if price is coming down here, I want to see price getting support towards the buy side liquidity, towards the equal highs from this breaker block. If it does not do that, the drawn liquidity will be below this low, and then this fair value gap here. And what I'm seeing right now on dollar is that we have a fair value gap here, right? That's a CB, and from CB we want to see price rejecting. If I outline the CB to you, and if I measure it like the way I do, what do you see? Price came up, right, offer liquidity in the midway, and getting rejected from the 0.75, right? So as soon as price is not closing a candle's body above the upper quadrant, we can expect to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side, right? And now the price is rejecting. Now that we can see price is getting rejected, right? I think I will still wait for this candle to close, right? But what I think is something like this. Price should do something like this, come down, right? Our draw on liquidity will be this low here. This low, this one will be our draw on liquidity. DOL. Yeah, so let's see what it does. Okay, folks, if it does that, if price is dropping, dollar is dropping, we can expect to see higher prices on indices, right? And on US30, you can see the price did not close the candle's body above the breaker block that I outlined. I told you that's a high probability breaker block. Okay, how do you know a high probability and a low probability breaker block? How do you differentiate between that? I answered it, and you can see that that was our high probability breaker block, right? I could have, so what I did wrong in this trade, I will talk about it. I could have put my stop loss above it. What I did, I put my stop loss above the low probability breaker block, right? That's the breaker block here. And why is it a low probability breaker block? I think I answered it. If I haven't, I will answer it again, because that's the first up close candle, okay? Before price took out this major swing low. That's a swing low here. So our up close candle is here. That's the up close candle. That's what you want to mark. But we also do see another up close candle inside of this fractal, right? So that's a low probability breaker block because of that, and that's a high probability breaker block. So on dollar, I told you I want to see this candle closing. Now, do you see the reason? This candle is going above, right? We still do have 10 minutes for these candles to close. Let's see if this candle is rejecting from this wick. That's a big wick, right? If you measure this big wick, the midway will come around here, and you can see the price clearly hit the midway. Now I want to see price rejecting, dollar rejecting from here. If it does not do that, draw on liquidity will be this equal high. You guys got it? I hope you guys do. And let's go back to the US30. Yeah, I think my analysis was right though, right? The trade that I took here, this trade, like, is still if I was in this trade, it would have provided profit to me. Still, it still would have generated profit, but anyway, it's on demo. So, and we are here to learn, right? You can see that I did share that the draw on liquidity on US30 is this fair value gap, right? That's our 4-hour fair value gap. I'll hide the execution though. It's just making a lot of noise. Execution, now it's good. So you can see that that's our 4-hour fair value gap, and that is unfilled. This fair value gap is unfilled, so that's our draw on liquidity. That's where I'm expecting for price to come down, at least offer liquidity at this level here. Okay, and then it can reject. It doesn't matter when it's rejecting. If it's not rejecting, if it's volatile and aggressive towards the sell side, right, we can expect to see price offering liquidity and filling this liquidity from the 50-minute chart in this here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now, I'll measure this fair value gap, okay, this 4-hour fair value gap, and I'll share with you guys like which levels are like the high probability and which ones are not. So let's do it. We still have like half an hour before our next macro starts. So let's just sit around here and let's talk about how should we decide our target. So that's our upper quadrant, right? I'll mark it because it will be beneficial for us when we are on lower time frame. So 0.75%, and it's the measurement is based on 4-hour fair value gap. Okay, David is asking, why do you focus on 4-hour and not the daily one? I want to. You are a new, so you don't belong here, David. Newbies, if you are asking me newbie question, why I'm trading on 4-hour, why I'm looking at 1 hour, you are a fucking newbie. You don't belong here, okay? If I see you guys asking me question about a beginner question, all of you will get blocked. I don't care. I'm not here to like get famous. If only 10 people, I've been literally preaching that since I started my live stream. Only 10 people, that's the people I want to see watching my live stream. I think 300 people, yeah, 321 people is watching my stream, but trust me, only 10 of you will make it. I know the truth hurts, but that's the truth. That's the reality. It doesn't happen, okay? Not everyone here will be consistently profitable. Every one of you here are trader. They know how to push a button. But anyway, that's the reason I'm gonna put the chat for my members. Anyway, so let's measure it. The chat window was diverting me from my analysis. So that's the midway, okay? Midway. And that's the lower quadrant. So these two are the level from where we expect to see price getting support, okay, in a fair value gap. That's a BC. These two levels are in discount, right? So in a BC, we want to see price coming down here and getting rejected. So our high probability target in this condition, like the high probability is the place where price will at least tapped into, okay? Price will at least provide liquidity. So what I think is that's our high probability target, 0.75%, okay? Is it helping you? Like the way I'm analyzing my chart, I know it's something different. You don't usually see it people doing it. What I'm doing here, okay, is that gives me confidence in my trade. The way I'm analyzing this chart, okay, I know price will come down and fill this fair value gap, but why I'm marking targets like this, why I'm measuring chart like this, like high probability, low probability, because I'm trading on 1 minute. I'm not trading on 4-hour chart. I'm trading on 3 minute, 5 minute, right? So in 3 minute, 5 minute, each of these levels will provide me 2 hour or 1 hour, minimum 1 hour. So if I can get there, I can make my ends meet on 1 minute chart. So that's the reason I'm marking it as a high probability setup, high probability target, low probability target, right? And I do it like this. I don't care if price comes down and hits this fair value gap or not, but I do it like this. You can go ahead and watch the video that I made about daily bias and liquidity, episode 3, okay? Episode 3, go ahead and watch it, and you will see that I analyzed the chart like that. I gave you guys 2 target, high probability 2 target, and price delivered both of those target on US30. Then I gave you 2 other target on low probability, price didn't even come close to those target. So that's the reason I see the chart like this. So this will be our high probability target, right? This will be our low probability target. Like we want to see price getting rejected from the lower from the midway, right? But we also saw price just stepping into the upper quadrant and then rejecting. So that's the reason I put it here as a high probability, and that's the reason I put it the midway as a low probability target, and these 2 level will be our low probability, okay? I hope you understood. So I'll just go back to the 5 minute chart again. And what do you see here? When do I tell you that price will manipulate? Most of the time, okay? From my analysis, from my journaling, I found out that from 8 after 8:35, okay, till 9:20, that's the time price manipulates 75% of the time. Okay, a newbie, a retail here will not have a journal. They don't know when they should not trade. They don't have a ratio that will tell them that, okay, that's the condition, that's the time zone that I want to avoid. Some of you here are telling me, okay, Hydra, I can see a setup at 9:20 to 8:35 till 9:20. That's the time period. In between that time period, I can see a setup. Okay, go ahead, push the button. Other fucking day, 75% of the time you will see price manipulating, you losing money. So that's the reason I never push a button on my live funds in between that time. If I see a setup, I know, okay, that's the 25% of the time that price provides a clean setup. So I'll take it on demo. I will follow my rules. I'll stick with it. I will not push the button on my live funds. Okay, so just keep in mind that if you are following me, if you like me, from 8:35 till 9:20, that's the period where price manipulates the most. What do you see on here? US30. On 1 minute chart, what do you see? Your price is manipulating. Is it providing a clean setup? Is it on the low resistance liquidity run? No. So if you tell me, Hydra, how can I know price will be in a high resistance liquidity run? The answer is 8:35 till 9:20. That's the period price will manipulate. That's the period when price will be in a high resistance liquidity run. And if you are following ICT, you know that our high probability setup will never form on high resistance liquidity run. Okay, I hope that you find this insightful. If you do, if you are finding my live stream insightful, hit the like button. And you can see the price is getting rejected from here, right? Price is still following the analysis that I started my live stream with. I wanted to see price coming here and hitting the liquidity level here, this fair value gap, right? So let's adjust our drawings and then I will answer some of your questions from chat. And okay, let's talk about the standard deviation projection and how I use it. It might be different from you. It might be different from the way you use it, but the way I'm gonna share it right now, that's the way that I use it. And how I use it, I will share the settings of my standard deviation projection first, and then I will talk about it. So that's the setting, right? You can take a screenshot. The way I use it, that's how I use it. You can take a screenshot, and if you want to follow my settings, you can do it. That's how I use standard deviation projection: 0, 0.5, 1, -1, -1.5, 0.5. So all the level is here in the color, all of that good stuff. And so the way I measure it, I measure the swing that hit the liquidity. Okay, I only measure that swing. So in this fractal, in this price fractal, which swing hit our breaker block? Which price fractal here hit our breaker block and then this drop happened? This price fractal, right? Let me mark it for you. This. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna measure this swing like this, right? And what I'm basically doing is I'm measuring this swing from the high to the low, and I'm projecting this measurement towards the sell side, right? It's been here before ICT even started trading. Okay, the measurement of a price fractal, it's been here, it's been taught by many other mentors. ICT is not the first one who taught it like this, but ICT is the first one who like showed us it organized. Okay, standard deviation projection, it's his concept, and he like basically organized everything in his style, and his style is one of the best style out there. The retail don't see the chart like this. They will just measure it and project it down there. They don't have the levels like this. And now that I measured this swing high, from the high to the low, right? That's how I project the standard deviation. What do you see? What do you see right here? Our midway of this price fractal, right? The midway, the halfway of this price fractal comes in here. The total price fractal, the -1 standard deviation, comes in here. Where do you see it? At the 0.75%, the upper quadrant of what I outlined as a high probability target. Now, do you see the logic behind me saying why it's a high probability target? Because if price is coming down, right, if price is getting support towards the sell side, price will at least deliver it towards the halfway or the -1 standard deviation. Okay, that's what I'm expecting to see, and you can see that it perfectly aligns with the measurement of this swing here, right? If you just measure it like this, and if you project this price fractal towards the sell side, it will come here at this level. So our drawn liquidity at 9:30, I'm expecting the drawn liquidity at 9:30 at 33,950. Okay, do you see how beautifully price gave you a number? Okay, if you want to feel professional, what the professional traders do, if you ever traded with them, or if you have experience watching them, they will tell you the levels, not buy side liquidity. Okay, I do see the level here, 33,000. I think price will go to the 33,000, not like 4-hour buy side liquidity, 1-hour buy side liquidity. So it does gives you a professional feel, right? You are talking about the levels in price fractal rather than talking about like a fair value gap and stuff. So yeah, if you can use it like that, you can do it too. So 33,950, that's where I'm expecting price to drop, right? So yeah, I will keep using standard deviation projection from now on throughout my live streams because it is so helpful. Okay, it helps you to decide a partial, where you should take a partial, where you should put your TP confidently. It will give confidence in your setup with other analysis. Okay, some people, the way they use a standard deviation projection is like they only project the price vector and then they will think, okay, price should hit it. No logic why you should do that, right? So never do that. Do not rely on any concept, any ICT concept blindly without getting other confirmation. What is our confirmation here? Price hit a breaker block, price did hit a hourly breaker block, then a 50-minute breaker block, and price is showing willingness in every way to remain heavy towards the sell side. That's a fair value gap here, right? Price rejected from it, didn't even close the candle's body above the midway. So what do we expect? We expect to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side. Another fair value gap aligned with the order block. This last bullish candle, that's our order block. And what do you see? Price remaining heavy towards the sell side after getting orders from this order block. Did price came up, closed the candle's body above this last bullish candle? No. So there's no way for me to expect price to remain heavy towards the buy side. How do you know price will hunt buy side liquidity? Price itself will tell you. You just don't know how to see it. You just don't know how to read the price action. That's the reason our mentor ICT always tells you, build your skill first, folks. Build it, read, learn how to read the price action. After that, if you have the skill, it doesn't matter if you are trading or if you are doing something else, money will come into your pocket. Okay, if you have the skill, if you know how to read the price action, money is nothing. Okay, a setup is nothing if you know how to read it. So you can see how price is respecting order blocks here. This order block was respected, then this order block, this order block. These up close candles here, did price came up and close the candles body above it? No, it didn't. So what do we expect? We expect to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side. The same thing I'm literally repeating again and again and again, and it's easy. I didn't use this standard deviation projection when I started my live stream. I was only using macro and breaker block. Then I started using reclaimed order block. Then I started using inversion fair value gap. Now I'm starting using the standard deviation projection. So I'm taking you through a process here. We will use and execute using other concept. We will do that. But first you will have to master one concept. And if you are following only one concept, trust me, you can make your whole living just by following one concept, one ICT concept. You don't need to trade and follow everything. If you're doing that, what that will do is it will give you confidence. Okay, so a lot of talking, a lot of psychology talking. I hope you guys enjoy it rather than getting bored. Okay, so that's the that's the midway, and that's the that's the 0.5 standard deviation, and that's the 1 standard deviation. That's what I'm expecting price to deliver, right? This level here. So let's see if it does that, and you can see how price is respecting every order block here, right? So I would have taken a partial here if I was if I had this position open. A partial would have been here, and then I would have put my TP here. But anyway, let's see if price present us any setup at 920 to 930. I don't think that price will provide any high probability setup that we can take on demo at 920 to 930, because we do have a 10 o'clock news. When price has news at 10 o'clock, okay, when price has news at 10 o'clock, just avoid the 920 to 930 macro and focus more on 950 to 1010. And if you are new, completely ignore those two macros, rather focus on 1050 to 1110 macro. Marco is saying, last week you were in the space of Kid. He was talking about measuring algo, the time, not just price swing. But I don't know what exactly he meant with that. Did you know what he is measuring, how he is measuring time? Okay, I think you were talking about Kid. You wrote Kid. He's not, his name is Kitt, so Kid. Yeah, I was in his space, and I think measuring the time, okay? So I think he's talking about something else, or maybe I don't know about it, how to measure the time. The way I measure it, I use the macro, and from my knowledge, I think he was talking about the macro. Okay, measure the time by saying that he's literally telling you to zone your setup, like the way I do it. 820 to 830, what I did here, I'm measuring the time, right? 920 to 930, what I'm doing here, I'm measuring the time. Every macros we are measuring the time, and we are waiting for a setup to happen in between that 20 minute or 10 minute. That's what he talked about. Okay, that's what I think he talked about, as he was talking with me, and I basically only trade in between the macro zones. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I don't see any clean setup though. No clean setup in front of my eyes. It's just consolidating. I see a lot of manipulation. Yeah, let's look at NASDAQ. Let's see how. Maybe we'll just focus there. NASDAQ, let's hop on to the 3-minute chart. Do I see anything? I don't. I do see a breaker block here. Okay, let me see if I can outline it on 5-minute chart. That's a higher high, right? These are relatively equal high. Price came up, hit the fair value gap, so generated another new higher high. So these last down close candles becomes our breaker block, right? So if I mark it on 5-minute chart like this, right, extend it out on time, you can, what do you see here? Price closed the candle's body below here, then price got rejected towards the sell side, then price came up again, took liquidity, offered liquidity towards the buy side, and then it's rejecting again. So where is our drawn liquidity? Our drawn liquidity is at below the swing low right here. That will be our drawn liquidity. And if price is still volatile, remaining heavy towards the sell side, I'm expecting to see price coming down here, right, and offering liquidity below this low. Below this low, and then ultimately this low, and then this low that is aligned with this 4-hour fair value gap. Okay, so let's see what happens on US30. Nothing is happening. On US500, US100 price just got order from this breaker block. So I'll just mark it. Do you guys know what's the world's most boring time? Do you guys know it? If you guys know it, let me know in the chat. what time zone, what time period, like, right, is the most boring time period? You guys don't know it, right? From 8:35 till 9:20, that's the most boring time to me in my whole trading career, okay? Because at that time price just consolidates 75% of the time. So it's, to me, it's the world's most boring time. Now, before high impact news, you can see that price will manipulate, okay? It's occasional. If there's a high impact news, price will manipulate. It's expected, but 8:35 till 9:20, that's like the usual time zone. Even if there's no news, price will manipulate, consolidate. So when it does that, it just building liquidity for the upcoming the New York opening, okay, 9:30. That's when the trading session opens. So yeah, so what price does it, like in between that time, price just consolidate, and we know that accumulation, manipulation, then distribution. So what price does it, like after 8:35 till 9:20, price accumulates, manipulation happens at 9:20. At 9:20 and at 9:30 the distribution happens. So if you are taking notes, it will be something like this. After 8:35 till 9:20 the accumulation happens. 9:20 to 9:29 the manipulation happens, and 9:30 at 9:30 the distribution happens. Okay, I hope you are taking it as a note, and if you like follow it, it will make more sense to you now that I just explained to you what accumulation, manipulation, and distribution phase is, okay? I do have a lot of things to share with you guys. I'm just literally sharing only 30% or 40% of the knowledge that I have in my head. Okay, I will share everything with you, but with time. It will take time. If I keep sharing everything in one stream, you won't understand. I will have to see something in price to let you know, okay? There's a lot of hindsight video throughout the YouTube. Go ahead and watch the hindsight video. Tell me if you can be profitable by watching that. No, you can only be profitable once you start looking at live price action. Okay, so the most growth will happen inside you if you are tape reading, if you are like how do I say it in English? Okay, I don't know. Anyway, forget it. So let's answer some questions from chat. Any chance you can show the fib setting again? Missed the screenshot, or can you just post it on Discord? Thank you. Okay, I'll show it to you. JC. That's the fib setting for the standard deviation projection. Okay, on US30, I do see price building liquidity towards the sell side again. And now that we know that US30 is respecting order block, right? Our order block here is this up close candle here. This last up close candle here, that's our order block. So let's see if price get rejected from here. If price is coming up, right? I want to see price getting rejected from here, from this order block. All of these order blocks. Okay, do you guys think Mentor ever watched my live stream? Or do you guys ever saw Mentor coming in my live stream? Do you guys saw it? I think no, right? So if I project the standard deviation from on US100, right? That's the major swing high that deliver liquidity before these drop here. So I'll measure this fractal here in price, and our negative one standard deviation, okay, comes in at this level below this low, so that will be like our high probability target, and our negative 2 standard deviation comes in at this fair value gap, this 4-hour fair value gap that I was talking. I think no, right? Yeah, he is very sneaky. He uses someone CN is saying he uses a different YouTube name sometimes. Yeah, so that's why I'm confused. Suppose he came here and he asked me like what is a fair value gap or why am I measuring a fair value gap, and then I saw it and then I blocked him. Okay, it's my wild thought. So that's the reason I don't wanna put the chat for my members, because if he's coming here, he will like talk in the normal chat, right? So yeah, I will open it again. If he's coming, I wanna see him. Okay, he's the mentor, so if he's giving me any advice, that would be like highly appreciated for me. So for that, I wanna keep the chat window open, but a lot of beginners, a lot of retails, they're just like, I'll close my stream if I ever do that, okay? No, if my stream, okay, I don't know how 300 people is coming here and watching me. The reason behind I opened the stream, right, is because like to see if ever my mentor is coming in my live stream, and if he ever coming here, I will ask him some questions that I have in my mind, okay? I don't have any other way to ask those questions, and I really want to ask those questions. So if he's ever coming here, I will share what I want to ask. And me personally, I looked for those answers. I couldn't find it. So anyway, Joy is saying, would a mitigation block inside a breaker block serve as confirmation, or should you use or one or the other? Thanks, Hydra. I appreciate you. Okay, welcome, bro. So Joe, I will use a mitigation block inside a breaker block. I will use a fair value gap inside a breaker block. I will use a order block inside a breaker block. So it doesn't matter what concept I should use. The thing that matters is the logic. Okay, you have to have a logic why price should do something, right? And not like only one logic. A newbie will only see a fair value gap, and he will only execute based on a fair value gap, right? He won't have other logic, higher time frame confirmation. Me always focus on the higher time frame. So without the higher time frame narrative, there's like no trade for me. Anyway, Mason is saying thanks. Dhava Patel is saying what is a fair value gap? Okay, bye. Moonlight is saying that QN. Okay, Frankie is saying that's why it's important not to be rude to anyone, bro. You never know who you are talking to. Just saying, you are blocked too. I'm not here to be humble. Why should I be humble? I'm humble to the people who knows what I'm doing here. I wanna make the block list more than the people who are watching the stream. Okay, like already I think it's more than like 500-600 people that I blocked. So very less that I care who I'm blocking. Just want to say thank you so much, bro. You are welcome, brother. Blocked, yeah. So we can see the price coming up here again and hitting this breaker block here again, right? So what I want to see, price rejecting from it. If it want to do that, it's okay. We also do have liquidity up here, right? So yeah, let's see. Let's watch and let's see what price does, rather than forcing any trade idea, to be honest. 921, we are inside of our macro, right? Let's go back to US30. US30 5-minute. Okay. We are here on US30. Let's see if price is presenting to us any setup. Okay. We know that that's a low probability scenario because of the 10 o'clock news, but I still want to see if price is presenting me a setup. If it does that, I want to see if price is respecting my analysis or not. So let's jump on to the 1-minute chart. Okay, I do see a stop hunt. I do see a stop hunt, but that's a stop hunt here. These are relative equal high, and I do see a fair value gap here. So what price did, price took out this liquidity here, then tapped into this fair value gap. There is also a BPR. Okay, so that's the BPR here, aligned with this fair value gap, this CB here. So that's a BC, that's the CB. These two fair value gap are aligned with each other, so that becomes a BPR, balanced price range. And what do you know, guys? A balanced price range is a gigantic pool of liquidity. And you can see that how beautifully price is rejecting. So our draw on liquidity will be here, and before I'm expecting a drop here, I want to see price coming below this fair value gap. That's our last fair value gap here, right? And if you watched my inversion video that I made, I told you guys that if you are expecting a drop after price takes out a major swing high, you want to see price closing its candles body below the last stop loss candle, and then if there's a fair value gap, then there, okay, a closure below that fair value gap. Once you see that, you can be freaking confident in your trade that price will reject and drop towards where you want to see. So that's a fair value gap. I'm not in any trade, right? So it's just an analysis. So don't take a trade based on what I'm saying. If price is closing candles body below, don't just push the button. Build the experience here, folks. So let's see what price does. Okay, I want to see price closing candles body below here. If it does that, price will remain heavy towards the sell side, and you can see the price is getting support from it. That's what I don't want to see. Anyway, if price is taking out this high, or suppose this high, right, and then it's dropping, then we will have a breaker block. We don't have a breaker block, clean breaker block here. I do see this up close candle here, but these down close candle here, but these down close candles are not ideal for a trade. Always think about your risk before you push the button. Suppose I'm entering here, my stop loss here, I don't like it. My stop loss should be like a small stop loss. I should get done. I want to get done as soon as possible with my profit, right? That's the reason I only target 1 to 2R. If there's a clean setup and the day is perfect, then 1 to 3R, 1 to 4R. That's the max that I go on indices. On crypto, 5R is the max that I go, because on crypto, you know how volatile it is. So when it does provide, it provides a lot of money. And I did a confession yesterday on my Telegram channel. I told you guys that 60% of the money that I ever made from trading is from crypto, from Ethereum. 30% that I made from US30. Other 10% is just from like US100. If I see a clean setup, I'll push the button there. If I see a clean setup on like US500, I'll push the button there. So the other is like other two charts. Bitcoin, US100, US500. On 10%, 30% US30, 60% is crypto. So I think I'll keep doing the live stream that I do on crypto on weekends, because I like it. I'm trading on crypto on weekends, so what's the problem then sharing with you all? So I'll keep doing that. You guys saw me doing live stream Saturday, Sunday this week, and you will see me doing live stream in future on crypto. And you can see the price is getting rejected, right? Price closed the candle's body below the last up close candle, showing a willingness to reject. Let's see if it remains heavy towards the sell side. I'm expecting it to remain heavy towards the sell side based on the confirmation that price gave me. Other than that, if price is failing to go towards the sell side from here, we also do have a target on buy side liquidity. Okay, that's a equal high. I'm on 1 minute chart though, so in 1 minute chart, in a normal day when there's like no high impact news, you won't see price doing something like this, like generating equal high, generating equal low in both sides of the marketplace. Okay, in a normal day you won't see that. It's because of the news. So, and we know how to navigate in a new scenario. So another equal high here. So these two levels that I'll keep in mind and watch. Why these two levels? Right, that's a good question, because if I measure the swing high from here to the low, premium will come in these two zones. So that's the reason I'm only marking these two. If price is not stopping after providing liquidity from here, it will hunt this liquidity here, then it will deliver towards the buy side. And you can see the price got support from this fair value gap, right? I told you guys that I want to see price closing candles body below there, then we will have a clean analysis towards the sell side. But what do you see here? So at 9:30, and you can clearly see the price got support from this inversion here, right? That's an inversion. And if I'm taking this trade with the inversion, right, the analysis will be something like this. Stop loss below here, right, below this fair value gap, target here. So just an analysis, okay folks. So now that I see price is closing a candle body above this fair value gap, this fair value gap becomes an inversion. Okay, so now let's see if price gets supports towards the buy side from this inversion or not. It's just an analysis. Nothing. I'm not even pushing the button on my live funds because of that 10 o'clock news, okay, on my demo account. At 10 o'clock news, there's a news like a high impact news, jolts, job opening. So just be safe, and let's see if price is respecting our analysis. With this stop loss, 2R comes here, right? But I will target it here, as we do have these relative equal highs here, right? And you can see that how I'm using an inversion. A lot of newbies here. On weekends, a newbie was saying to me, that's not an inversion. And that newbie couldn't explain why it's not an inversion. Then I blocked him. So if you are like him, like if you don't see it as an inversion, when a fair value gap fails, okay, that becomes an inversion. And if you don't know that, tell me you don't know it and I'll block you. So yeah, you can see that how beautiful it is. Isn't it beautiful? Look at the rejection and support that price got towards the buy side liquidity from here, from this inversion. Look at the thing here, okay? Even on news, Hydra still has the precision that he talks about. Do you guys like it? The analysis that I just did in front of you, right? I got lucky, to be honest. So if you like it, if you like when I get lucky, hit the like button. I can see that 300 people watching and only 150 likes. What's up, folks? Let's go to 200 and more than that, okay? I want every one of you hit the like button. If you are enjoying the live stream, if you are enjoying me getting lucky every time in these charts, then do it. You might get lucky because you hit the like button. So if you just entered in my live stream, and if you don't know what we did here, you can go back and watch it again, right? When price closed the candle's body here, right? Forget about the 930 move. It's just manipulating, a lot of manipulation. We don't care about it. What we do care, how we did analysis before 930 and how price did respected our analysis at 930 with the high volatility. Do you saw my stop loss? It was so low, right? When price was here, I told you guys, okay, I do see a setup, and I put in my thing like this, and I told you a stop loss can be here, right below this fair value gap. And this candle, when this candle was moving, that's the time when I shared the analysis. The next candle opened, I told you guys, okay, the 2R, I think it's here, but I will target it here as we have the relative equal high, and I gave you two target. Everything is I know it feels like I'm using replay mode, but I'm not. It's all live, and you are seeing it printing in your chart. Before this freaking move happened, right, I told you price, I want to see price coming up here. Now that price got failed to go towards the sell side from this level here, right? Gave you two target for price to come, liquidity here, From where do you see price getting rejected? From the level that I gave you here. And I told you, if price is still moving aggressively towards the buy side from here, after providing liquidity here, it will hunt the swing high here, then liquidity here. Did that? No. I'm so lucky, folk. Too much lucky, okay? It's a lot of luck. I'm like a factory of luck. So if you wanna like buy some luck from me or get some luck from me, hit the like button. You might also get lucky. And where was our bias today? Where was our bias for this session? Towards the sell side, right? I gave you guys literally targets towards the sell side. Literally the time when I started my stream, I was preaching towards the sell side. Sell side, sell side, sell side. And I gave you 2 targets. Not 2, like 3 targets. I gave you a high probability target. Price hit it, smashed it. Low probability, both of those targets got delivered. Okay? Precision, folks. You wanna adopt this precision? You wanna do it? Then do tape reading. Why are you always thinking about money? Let's look at US 100. Let's see if it followed our analysis or not. No. So US 100, right? That's the reason I'm avoiding US 100. The time I follow US 100, that's the time I know that US 100 will follow my analysis. The time I'm just avoiding it. I told you guys, if you have been watching it, I told you I'm avoiding US 100 today. And you can see that, like, yeah, US 100 is manipulating a lot compared to US30. So that's another skill that comes with experience. Some of you newbie here, and they will ask me, okay, Hydra, how do I know now I should trade US 100 and I should avoid trading US30? Bro, that's something that will come with experience. I can tell you the logic, what I saw, but the logic will end after price delivers here, right? But if you know what I'm sharing and if you wanna learn the logic, right? If you don't think about money, you will adopt the logic. And when the same price action repeats, that's the time when you will able to like recognize, okay, I should avoid this pair right now. It's not moving in my consideration. It's not moving the way I want to. Okay, so that's something that will come with experience, folks. You will have to spend at least 6 months just tape reading in this chart. 6 months of trade reading. Yeah, is it hurting you? I know it is, but that's what it requires. That's what it takes from you. You want to become consistent? Do tape reading for 6 months if you are a newbie here. Trust me, after 6-7 months, you will start making money. And when you do start making money, in just couple of days, okay, just couple of months, you will be able to quit your job just like I did. I didn't quit my job gradually. I quit it suddenly. I was making money suddenly. I was getting lucky suddenly. When I started going through my journals, that's the time I found out the macros. 820 to 830, 920 to 930. Okay, price does repeat itself in between those time. So I should follow it. So how did I discover those macros? From journaling. So you should also do journaling the way you do tape reading. Okay, so that's the 2 thing. I think I talked a lot. So that's the 2 thing that you should follow: journaling, tape reading, both. Okay, if you do both, trust me, nothing will stop you from making money from this industry. They say you cannot, right? You can. You fucking can, with precision, like no one other here can do it like you. You can be an exception, okay? You can be unique, but that requires a 6 month of tape reading. Anyway, so let's go back to our US30. That's the pair I'm focusing today. So that's the pair is delivering like I want. And I did measure this price fractal here, right? I will take this chart on the 50-minute, okay. And let's jump onto the 5-minute chart. So before all of this move happened, I told you that I'm measuring this price fractal. How did I measure it? I measured it like this, from this swing high to the swing low, and I projected this swing towards the sell side. What do you see? Price delivered 1 in standard deviation beautifully. Negative 1.5 standard deviation delivered. Negative 2 delivered. From where do I expect to see from this measurement price to get reversed? From negative 3, negative 3.5, and negative 4. That's the zone, okay? That's a very premium freaking zone for price. So price will get rejected from either of these levels. The levels that you see I marked in red, all of these are gray shaded box, right? So once price starts delivering aggressively towards the sell side, or like any side, you can expect to see price then coming down and hitting the -2, then -3. And once it does hit -3, that's the period from where you want to see price get rejecting, okay? -3, we want to see price rejecting -3.5, and -4. That's like an ideal place for price to get rejected. US500 is bullshit today. Look at US500. I don't have a clean analysis on US500. That's the reason I'm just completely fucking ignoring this pair. This consolidation here, right? This consolidation, then this consolidation, all of this choppiness, I don't like it. So why should I care about a chart where I don't have an edge? The chart that I have an edge right now, that's the chart I will follow. This chart US 500. What the hell? Yeah, US 500. Look at the choppiness. I don't see a breaker block set up here. I don't see anything here. It's just chopping. And then look at the move. Compared to US30, right? US30 is on this side. I have US 100 and US 500. I'm watching other two charts on my other two monitors. So yeah, so I'm also watching that. It's not like I'm talking about US30 and I'm not watching other charts. If I see a setup on other charts, I will tell you. And what do you see here? No setup. I don't see a clean setup here. If you do see a clean setup, trade on it. Me, I don't even wanna talk about it. And what do you see here? US dollar, right? What did I told you guys about dollar? Let's go back to the hourly chart. Sorry, I guess the analysis was on 15 minutes. Yeah. When price was here, right? Price was getting rejected from here, right? From this fair value gap, I told you guys that I want to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side. And this candle, when this candle opened, I told you, okay, I want to see this candle rejecting towards the sell side. Then I will have a clean analysis. Do you guys remember? If so, this candle delivered towards the buy side and took out this relative equal high. So now let's see if price is dropping. Price closed the candle's body below the last stop close candle, okay? So now let's see if it's a major swing high. Let's see how price behaved in past in this fractal. We do have equal high towards the buy side though. Do you see it? That's the equal high, relative equal highs. And price is getting rejected from this fair value gap here. So if I outline and cast forward this fair value gap in our present time, I want to see how price reacts to it. Extend to the right, okay. Okay, once price goes below this fair value gap, right? I'll have a clean analysis and I will see I want to see price hunting this liquidity level right here. Price closed the candle's body below the last stop close candle here, right? After taking out this swing high, and it has equal highs, relative equal highs above here. This red line that you see, that's our relative equal high. So what I want to see right now, that's a fair value gap here, right? If you didn't watch my inversion video, go ahead and watch it. I told you guys that after price takes out a major swing high, wait and see if there's a fair value gap. If there's a fair value gap near for price, watch and see if price closes a candle's body below it. If it does that, we can use the same fair value gap as an inversion, because that's a BC, right? So before price takes out a major swing high, always folks, like 80%, 80 to 85% of the time, you will see price generating a fair value gap before it takes out a major swing high. So if you are confused that if this swing high is a valid swing high, or if the liquidity hunt there is a valid liquidity hunt, wait and see if price closes a candle's body below the fair value gap, below the last BC that it generated. This BC is here, right? In your chart, other days this BC can be here. So wait and see if price closes a candle's body below that BC, and when that BC gets failed, use that BC as an inversion. Okay, I hope you got it. If you haven't, you can go ahead and watch the video that I made about inversion fair value gap or reclaimed fair value gap. I talked there in a details, and I shared another trading model that I have that I use using inversion fair value gap. So That's what I'm expecting on dollar. So let's see what dollar does, and let's go back to the US30. We have news, so I'll close my stream after the news hits, and I'll keep keep doing commentary till the high impact news. After that, I will close the live stream. I don't have me personally, I'm basically a AM session trader. So AM session macro trader. I don't care about PM session. I don't care about if price is presenting me a clean setup there. My limit is only on AM session. Okay, I have a head. I'm not fucking a computer. Okay, I have a head that gets like exhausted. So my limit is 2 to 3 hours. If I keep looking at chart more than that, I won't be able to do a clean analysis. Okay, that's my limit. That's my zone. Some of you here are like always, like every day, looking at chart every session. Don't do it. Focus on one session, AM session. Make your time period. Okay, I'll only trade from 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. After that, in between that time, if price does not present me a clean setup, I'll just get done. If you do it, folks, your improvements inside of you will happen way more faster than you can think of. Okay, so price is getting rejected from the 0.25%, right? That's the lower quadrant, and that's the that's the discount zone for this BC. That's our 4-hour BC. If you remember, I think it's our 4-hour BC, right? So yeah, you can see that that's a BC, right? So in BC, where is the discount zone? The discount zone is 0.5, 0.25%. So price is getting rejected from it. So let's wait and see before the 10 o'clock if price is providing us any clean setup from which we can target the buy side. So tomorrow is FOMC, right? FOMC is tomorrow or what? I think it's tomorrow. I saw it. Oh yeah, ADP. The non for tomorrow is gonna be fun. So I'm starting live stream tomorrow at 8 o'clock. At 10 o'clock we have ISM, and then 2 o'clock we have FOMC. So I won't be able to read the FOMC. I have some stuff to do at 2 o'clock. So I'll be live streaming from 8 to 10. That's what I'll do tomorrow. Okay, someone asked me a question about like what's my schedule for live streaming on weekends. I don't have a schedule to stream on weekends on crypto. On weekends I do trade on crypto, so if I see a setup, that's the only time I'll be here live streaming. Other than that, if I start like live streaming in a specific time, and if you are trading on crypto, you know that crypto consolidates for so long. Okay, for it can go in a consolidation for 2-3 hours, and you never know when that consolidation will happen. So I cannot just sit here and watch price consolidating for 3 hours, right? So if I see a setup, if I expect to see price will get volatile, or price will provide a clean setup, that's the time period I will come live. It can be 8 o'clock in morning, it can be 8 p.m. at night, it can be 4 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't matter. So yeah, price is getting rejected from the lower quadrant, right? So let's see if price present us any clean setup. I don't see a clean setup. I just see this order block, this last bearish candle, price respecting it. So yeah, I only see that. If I drop down to the 1 minute chart, I do see a fair value gap though. I do see a fair value gap getting support, providing support for price. So yeah, if I measure this fair value gap here, right, that's a CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. If price is rejecting from the midway of this fair value gap, we can expect to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side and ultimately hitting our destination. This 4-hour fair value gap, when I started my live stream, I shared two target with you, two major target. That was like for the long-term bias. I gave you this fair value gap, then this fair value gap here. I told you if price is still remaining heavy towards the sell side, it will come here, because this fair value gap, this BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency is at discount. So let's drop down to the 1 minute chart and let's see from where price get rejected. If price wanna provide liquidity towards the buy side, right, it will come up and it will close the candles body above the upper quadrant, sorry, above the midway and then the upper quadrant. If it does not do that, if price is getting rejected from this two zone, that's when you will know that price wanna remain heavy towards the sell side. Okay, Nigel K is saying hi Hydra, much appreciate for these streams. Thank you, bro. Question: why is the 935 1 minute swing high not a valid breaker block? Okay, 935 not a valid breaker block because I will have to, for a breaker block for me to mark as a valid, I'll have to see a two clean like swing lows. I do see a swing low here, but it's not clean to me. I want to see this candle that generated this swing. I want to see the next candle that opened here above it. And what do you see here? This candle is not above it, so it's not an ideal swing low. Price, I can see price coming down here, right? If you drop down, I think on 15-second chart or like 30-second chart, you will see the price did a stop hunt here. But to me, from my experience, this break, I saw it, I will not mark it as a breaker block because I don't trust it. And I just shared the logic with you. For a breaker block, for a clean breaker block for me to mark, I will have to see two swing lows clean like this. The swing low that you see here, right, this last down close candle generated this swing low. And what do you see here? Price has two candles above it, not going below this swing, this last bullish last bearish candle that generated what this swing. So if price was supposed closing a candle's body below this candle's body, I wouldn't have a clean analysis. I wouldn't see it as a valid swing. A valid swing is when price has candles in both of the side above it, above the last candle that generated the swing. Okay, so because of that, I don't see it as a breaker block. But if you want to consider it as a breaker block, I think you can. And if price is giving me at least 2 hour from a concept, or suppose at least 1 hour, that's the period I'll outline this setup to you. But here I didn't see it as providing at least 1 hour. Why? Suppose you are entering in this trade, if you are considering this as a breaker block, right, and you are putting your stop loss above these last down close candles, and you are targeting 2 hour, right? Did price deliver 2 hour? It would have gave you like a partial in a breaker block setup, folks. Like if you are trading with 5 handle, if you are targeting 5 handle, I can guarantee you a breaker block will be ideal for you. Every single time I outline a breaker block in front of you, it either will give you a partial or it will hit your stop loss. Okay, that's a partial. That's what you will see me getting most of the time. I think you only saw me my stop loss getting hit. It's like I think 2 times, and you saw me in other times at least getting a partial. Or if I'm outlining a setup in front of you, it's hitting my TP, right? So yeah, let's wait for the news release, and I can see it, price provided support from, price got support from this fair value gap, right? When price was here, I told you, okay, if price is coming up and closing candles body above the midway and the upper quadrant, it will remain heavy towards the buy side. If it does not do that, my indication was clear, price will remain heavy towards the sell side. What do you see here? Price came up, got liquidity from 0.25, then got rejected, and it will keep rejecting until it hits this 4-hour fair value gap that I outlined when I started my stream. Everything feels like replay here, right? And to be more precise, I'm expecting a run on here at this negative 4 standard deviation 33,815. That's the level where I'm expecting price to come down and hitting. Now the price got support towards the sell side from this fair value gap, from this 1 minute fair value gap, right? So let's see what price does, and I'll jump back onto the 5 minute chart. By the way, guys, is there anyone from Montreal? If you are from Montreal, let me know in the chat. So 6 minutes before the news hits, let's watch US 100, NASDAQ. So NASDAQ getting rejected from this breaker block again. Right, as long as price is not going above the swing high, this breaker block still valid. As long as price is coming down, right, closing candles body below here, and you can see that price is getting rejected clearly from this breaker block, and price delivered -1 standard deviation here. Beautiful delivery at 1 standard deviation. Beautiful delivery right here. Before price did that, I measured it and I told you guys, okay, your high probability target will be -1 standard deviation. If you are using a standard deviation projection, if you are using that, just know that -1 standard deviation is your high probability target. Other than that, every place -1.5 standard deviation, that's the place where you should take a partial if you are still holding. -2 partial, or you can put a TP here, right? It depends on the setup, it depends on how you see the chart. To me, my high probability setup is at like high probability target is -1 standard deviation. Let's look at dollar. I think NASDAQ will reject towards the sell side. So now that price got rejected from this breaker block aggressively, I want to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side. Let's drop down to dollar. Dollar is just consolidating right now. I think it's waiting for the news. So what I'm gonna do, I'll put dollar here and I'll focus on US30. So that's our dollar chart. Let's go back to US30. Yeah, and what do you see here? Price remaining heavy towards the sell side, right? News is predicted. News will provide liquidity towards the sell side. If you want to know how I did it, you already know because you are watching me since I started the live stream. So that's how I predicted the news. News will hit in like 4 minutes. So let's just wait and see how news delivers. This red line on dollar, that's our equal high. If you guys remember, I marked it from on 50-minute chart. These are relative equal high, right? And this gray shaded box that you see, that's our old fair value gap, and you can see the price is still respecting it. Price got rejected from the lower quadrant here. If you measure this fair value gap, the lower quadrant will come here. So I want to see price delivering in this red line. This red line is our equal high, and if it does that, we will it will match with our analysis on on indices. Indices will remain heavy. US30 will remain heavy towards the sell side. Okay, so that first high probability target for the news will be this -3 standard deviation, right? And these two targets, -3 and -4, that's our high probability target. So price can deliver either of these target and get reject after that, right? I'm expecting a drop on dollar, so if I'm expecting that, I should also expect to see indices getting higher. And from which levels indices can get higher? From -3 standard deviation and -4 standard deviation. So let's just watch that. So dollar just took out the equal highs here. Class ICT is asking, would you consider the higher high around 7 as a breaker within your breaker? Higher high at 7. Yeah, that's a higher high, and that, yeah, I will consider that as a breaker block. But I was watching the higher time frame. In higher time frame, it wasn't visible. Okay, on lower time frame, it was visible, and I did push the button using the higher time frame confirmation. If you weren't here, I entered here after I saw price getting rejected from this breaker block, right? And then I took a partial here, then a partial here again. If I was holding this trade, right, it would have been like providing a lot of money by now. So it's 10 o'clock. Price hit a fair value gap here, right? So what I want to see, price remaining heavy towards the sell side. Now that price is getting rejected from this fair value gap, do you see it? That's a fair value gap. I want to see price getting rejected from. If it does that, it will provide liquidity towards the sell side, and that's what I'm expecting to see. Dollar is dropping though. Dollar is dropping, so yeah. Do you guys see how dollar is dropping here? This move was predicted. Like I told you guys, I want to see dollar remaining heavy towards the sell side, right? But after providing a little bit of liquidity towards the buy side, but you can see that dollar and indices US30 is moving together. And when it does that, you should know that that's the period. If you are in any trade, you want to just close it, because that's the zone you want to get out of, because your high probability setup will not form when dollar is just consolidating or dollar is moving with indices. And if you don't have a clean analysis on dollar and you have a clean analysis on your chart, Just ignore dollar because dollar will just make you confused. Okay, so what do you see on US 100? US 100 is delivering exactly the way I wanted to see. A rejection from this breaker block, right? And delivering towards the sell side, -1 standard deviation. And I gave you a target when I started the live stream. I told you it's not a high probability target, but I want to see price coming down, taking out the liquidity from here. And I gave you the confirmation why I was expecting that. If you don't know, if you haven't watched it, go and rewind the live stream. You will be able to see me calling the market on NASDAQ towards the sell side. This morning I called the market on US30 towards the sell side. I explained every move that price did here, right? Every move that price did here, every freaking move here was explained and was called in one direction. I hope you guys enjoyed my live stream today. The target that I shared with you, -3 standard deviation, -4 standard deviation. You can see that price is delivering it now. If you don't trust me, I know it sounds like I'm using replay mode or something like I'm just lying to you. Go back, you will see when price was here, I gave you this fair value gap as a target, and then this fair value gap as a target on US30, and on US30 I was indicating market towards the sell side. Okay folks, so I will close the live stream here, and you can see that how beautifully price is delivering. -4 standard deviation will get delivered. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. If you enjoyed my commentaries today, right, I got lucky so much today. So if you enjoyed and if you wanna get lucky like this, you can hit the like button and maybe we'll get lucky. And I will start live streaming tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope to see you there. Till then, peace and take care.